Hi friends, today's lesson is called Parts of a Book. Our learning goal for today says, I can name the parts of a book. Friends, do you like to read? Oh, I love to read. Isn't it so fun? I love to listen to the adventures that happen in the story, or even maybe learn a whole bunch of cool facts. All right, so when I think of a book, I just think of a book. But did you know there are different parts to a book? I know, it's crazy, right? Well, there are. There's a whole bunch of different parts that work together. Kind of like our own bodies. Like our bodies aren't just one big blob, there are different parts. And they all do something. Like our feet help us to walk, our hands help us to hold things. Every part has a job. And the same thing goes with the parts of a book. Let's talk about them. Okay, so here's a book. Now, on one side, I'm going to see some words, and maybe sometimes I'll even see some pictures. That's going to be the front of the book. Just like our bodies, our face is the most interesting part because it's what makes us different from everyone else. And so we can tell who is who based on the front of us, our face. And the books are the same way. And the back is less exciting. If you were to flip over the book, it's usually pretty plain. There's not a lot going on. It's kind of like when I walk into a classroom. I want to see the front of you, your nice smiling faces, right? The front is what grabs our attention as readers. So let's look a little bit closer at the front of a book. On the front of the book, that's what we call the cover. All right, the cover of the book is all of the stuff that's on the front. Now, there's lots of really good and helpful information on the cover of every book. Usually in pretty big letters, we're going to see the words that tell us the name of the story. That's called the title. Go ahead and say the word title. Yeah, the title is just the name of the book. All right. Then at the bottom, you're probably going to see, or at least somewhere else on the cover, a little bitty writing that's going to tell us some more information about who wrote the story. Now down here we see by Selamit. Well, Selamit is actually the author, the person who wrote the story. And then it says illustrated by Minnie Jones. Minnie Jones is what we call the illustrator, or the person who drew all the pictures. Now, why do you think we want the name of the story on the front of a book? Yeah, the title helps us to know which book we're talking about. In this case, it's The Purple Penguin. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen a purple penguin, so already I'm interested. Why do you think the author wants to put their name on the front of the book? Yeah, hello? If you wrote a book, wouldn't you want your name on the front? I definitely would. Plus, too, as readers, sometimes we find an author that we really, really like, that just loves to take us on fun adventures. And maybe we want to read more books by that author. So when the name's on the front, it's really helpful because we can find those favorite authors really fast. And of course, the illustrator puts a lot of work into the book by making beautiful and elaborate pictures. So they should be on the front too. That's all of the things we're going to find on the cover of a book. Right now, I want you to go press pause. I want you to go grab a book off of your shelf or somewhere in your house or your classroom. I want you to come right back. All right, go ahead and press pause while you go find that book. Press play when you're ready. Okay, do you have your book, friend? Awesome. All right, let's look for the things on the cover. Do you see the title? Can you point to it? Good. What's the title of your book? Do you know? If you can't read it, that's okay. But you see it? Awesome. Do you see where it says the author's name? Now the hint is we're going to look for the word by, because that will tell us right here, B-Y. That'll tell us who the author is by. Cool. What about illustrator? Does it list the illustrator on the front? Awesome. Now sometimes all the details aren't there, but usually these are the things you'll find on the cover. All right, go ahead and put your book down because we're going to keep cruising. Now, if I were to open the book and kind of flatten it down or just kind of open it for a second, I'm going to see some other parts before we start digging in a little bit deeper. This edge part right here that connects the front to the back is called the spine of a book. Now, we actually, as humans, we have spines too. It's our backbone. It goes all the way down our back. It helps us to stand up nice and tall. And it kind of keeps us all together, like our skeleton's connected to it. So the spine of the book is the same. It helps to keep everything straight. And it connects all of the things on the inside, or the pages. Can you find the spine of your book? Sometimes it's really thin and sometimes it's really thick. What's your spine like? Oh, nice. Now, on the inside, you're going to see pages. Does your book have a lot of pages or just a few pages? Oh, cool. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to open it up. Now, when you open up the book, on the very first page, which I have to say, sometimes I just really skip over really quickly because I already know the information. But on the very first or second page, when you open up a book, you usually see something called the title page. Now, the title page just gives you a little bit more information. It has the title again, and then it has the author and the illustrator. And sometimes if those aren't listed on the front, it'll give you that information on the title page. Can you open up your book and see if you see the title page? Oh, very cool. It also sometimes give you more, like even more specific details, like where it was written and when it was written. So the title page can just be like full of information, but that's right on the front. All right. So who can tell me? This is my friend Katie. What is this part of Katie's book called? Yes. And this part? Perfect. This was the front, this is the back, and what's the connecting part? Ding, 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 the spine. Excellent. And what are those things, those white things called on the inside? Yes, those are the pages to the book. Now, I opened up her book, and on this front page, I'm going to see something. What's that called? Perfect, the title page. And I see right there is the title. Well, you did a really good job at identifying all the different parts of Katie's book, which is great because our learning goal for today says, I can name the parts of the book. And that's exactly what we practiced together with our book that we had in the video, but then also your own book. Now, friends, you did a really nice job. And as you're reading a book, I want you to look for all the different parts and see how they're all working together. All right, and practice naming them. All right, good luck, friends, and happy reading.